Everyone had gifts in their hands. My share was silence. They thought I would burst into tears. But I stood up smiling, chose myself and said a sentence that dimmed the glow of the celebration in a single moment. "Oh, there just wasn't anything set aside for you." My aunt said it with a laugh like it was some harmless little joke. Christmas lights shimmered across the room. A tall tree sparkled in the corner, and beneath it sat a mountain of wrapped boxes. Every single one had a name on it. That. My sister Carol. Her husband. The kids. Everyone had something. Everyone had a box to tear open. My hands were empty. I was standing by the kitchen island holding a coffee mug I didn't even want. I'd grabbed it just so I wouldn't look as empty as I felt. Carol glanced at me and shrugged. "Oh, come on, it's not a big deal," she said casually. "We thought you said you didn't want anything this year. If you've ever smiled through hurt like this, stay with me, subscribe and walk this journey with me. You deserve the truth behind what really happened next." I said I didn't need anything expensive, I replied evenly. I didn't say ignore me. Dad cleared his throat from across the room. "Let's not start drama tonight," he said. "It's Christmas." Drama? I hadn't raised my voice. I hadn't rolled my eyes. I hadn't even moved. I was just standing there watching everyone hug and laugh, watching ribbons fly through the air while wrapping paper piled up on the floor. My niece ran up to me with a brand new doll clutched in her arms. "Look what Mommy got me," she squealed. I forced a smile. "That's cute," I said softly. Mom came over and leaned in close. "Honey, don't make a scene," she whispered. "I'm not making a scene," I said. "I'm just trying to understand how everyone else has something under that tree. Except me." Carol's voice cut through the room. "Oh my God, you're still sensitive. Grow up." Sensitive. That word echoed in my head like it always had. The label they'd used my entire life. Too sensitive. Too observant. Too aware. The one who noticed patterns. The one who remembered promises. The one who kept receipts, literal and emotional. I walked over to the couch and sat down. The last of the gifts had been opened. Designer boxes were displayed proudly. Carol lifted a sleek leather bag and turned it toward the room. "He paid way too much for this," she laughed, glancing at her husband. Everyone laughed with her. I pulled out my phone. I opened our family group chat and scrolled up. 3 weeks earlier. "Mom, let's set a budget for everyone this year. Maybe $100 each." Carol, "Sure. Except maybe for the kids." "Dad, sounds good." I had replied, "I'm in. I'll send money for Mom's mixer she wanted." I hadn't just sent money. I'd ordered it myself. The stand mixer Mom had been eyeing for months. $249. I told myself it was fine. I could afford it. It didn't matter if it went over budget. I looked up at Carol, still laughing under the glow of the tree lights. Then I stood and walked toward the tree. Mom's mixer box was there, open and admired. "Oh, I love it," Mom said when she saw me. "Thank you." "You're welcome," I replied. Carol smirked. "See? You gave something. That's what matters." I looked at her carefully. "Interesting," I said. "So I give. You all receive. That's the system now." Dad's tone sharpened. "Enough." I took a deep breath. I wasn't crying. That was the surprising part. I didn't even feel tears coming. What I felt was clarity. Clean and bright. Like someone had flipped on a light switch inside my chest. Thanksgiving last year flashed through my mind. Carol had said, "You're lucky you don't have kids. So much free money." I'd laughed. "Free money? I work 50 hours a week." "Yeah," she'd said, "but you don't have real responsibilities." Real responsibilities. Then there was the summer trip to Florida. I'd booked the beach house on my card. Everyone promised to split it. When we got home, Carol texted, "We're tight this month. Can we pay later?" Later never came. I never asked again. I told myself it was fine. It was family. Then tonight, everyone had gifts in their hands. My share was silence. Carol walked over to me. "Why are you making that face?" she asked under her breath. "What face?" "That victim face." I looked her straight in the eyes. "You really think this is about a box under a tree?" She hesitated. "Then what is it about?" I held my phone up between us and showed her the group chat. Then I opened my banking app. "Mixer. Beach house. Dad's car repair last year," I said calmly. "Total $4,860. She let out a short laugh. So, you offered. Did I? I asked. Or did you just assume I would? Dad stepped closer. What's going on? I looked at him. I just realized something. I'm not the daughter. I'm the backup wallet. That's not fair, Mom said quickly. No, I replied, my voice steady. What's not fair is this. You set a budget. I followed it. You didn't even bother getting me a $20 candle. Not because you forgot. Because you don't see me. The room fell silent. Even the kids stopped talking. You're overreacting, Carol said, crossing her arms. Am I? I asked. When was the last time you asked how I was? Not what I could pay for. Just how I was. She didn't answer. I stood up and picked up my coat from the arm of the couch. Don't leave like this, Mom pleaded. Like what? I asked. Quiet. Because that's what you gave me tonight. I walked toward the door, my boots echoing against the hardwood floor. My hand touched the doorknob and I paused. I turned around. They were all watching me now. The Christmas lights were still blinking, but the warmth in the room had vanished. I looked directly at Carol. You know what? Keep the gifts. Keep the holidays. I'm done funding a family that doesn't even see me. Watch your tone, Dad warned. No, I said firmly. You watch yours. I'm not a kid. And I'm not your emergency credit card anymore. I pulled out my phone and glanced at Carol's husband. By the way, the beach house balance. I just requested it on Venmo. You have 7 days. His eyebrows shot up. Seriously? Yes. Seriously. I looked at Mom. Next year, don't set a budget you don't plan to follow. You're ruining Christmas, Carol snapped. I opened the door. Cold air rushed in. No, I said quietly. You did. I just stopped pretending. Outside, the driveway was dark and silent. The night air hit my face like a reset button. I got into my car and placed my hands on the steering wheel. I sat there for a long moment. No tears came. Just peace. My phone vibrated. Carol, you didn't have to embarrass us. I typed back. You embarrassed me first. Dad, we'll talk later. We will. But it won't be about money. A week later, a Venmo notification popped up. Full amount. No apology. Just payment. Mom called a few days after that. I didn't realize you felt this way, she said quietly. That's the point, I replied. You didn't realize. It's been 6 months now. I still go to family events. I still sit at the same table. The same Christmas lights will probably blink again this year. But something has changed. I don't pay unless everyone contributes equally. When Carol hints, we should do a girls' trip, I smile and say, sure. Split it 4 ways. She talks less now. Maybe she's angry. Maybe she's embarrassed. I don't know. What I do know is this. That night when everyone had gifts in their hands and I had nothing, I finally understood what the real gift was. Boundaries. And I gave them to myself. If this story resonated with you, please take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel. Your support truly means more than you know. It helps these stories reach others who might need them. Thank you for listening, for feeling, and for being part of this journey with me.